Callisto Protocol was supposed to be produced in 15 months, but the studio interference forced the project to be finished in only 12. Upon hearing this, you might think that the game is simply lacking content and is unpolished, but the game was designed badly from the beginning. In my opinion, the only good parts about the game is what they self-plagiarized from Dead Space. Everything else is pure trash. Starting with the basics. The combat system was a good idea on paper, but it was not tested in game for shit. It's a system based on dodges, but there is no dedicated dodge button. Your movement keys turn into dodge keys when an enemy is nearby. And the dodge is in place, not a roll like in Dark Souls. So the dodge does not move you, and you cannot move because the movement buttons are now dodge buttons. Seems like the developers did not understand the severity of this design's stupidity. Every time you fight multiple enemies, you cannot move, so you have to pray you won't get hit. But you do get hit a lot, and because of that, you die a lot. Weapon upgrade system is simply, now your weapon has more ammo, deals more damage, is more steady. There is a visual printer that upgrades your weapons, but for the most of them, there are no visual updates, but it's still printing. Each weapon has a top tier upgrade alternative mode, but I did not upgrade any of mine to this level because most of the combat in this game is melee and you only have one melee weapon. You might think that the weapons are not that bad, but wait, there's more. Weapon change works like this. Button number 1 is the big shotgun. Button number 2 opens a weapon wheel that also includes the big shotgun for some reason. And you need to use mouse scroll to pick a weapon you want from the wheel. But the mouse scroll also activates the glove. So I died about 8 times trying to change weapons mid-combat. Button number 3 are your heals and scroll is the glove. The glove is simply a very limited gravity gun. It works only on a very specific boxes and on some enemies. There are about 5 types of enemies. One bug that bites you, one egg sack jump scare that bites you, a blind humanoid that punches you, a spitter that punches you, an invisible enemy who, when becomes visible, punches you, one mini-boss who punches you, and you get 4 of them in the span of 2 hours. And then you get a big boss fight, and the boss punches you. Then he turns into a bigger, badder boss, and he also punches you. The combat in this game is atrocious. Visually, this game is a generic sci-fi. You could recreate this game with any 5 sci-fi asset packs from Unreal Engine Marketplace. Story. You are a pilot and you transport boxes. Your ship gets boarded by anime waifu and you crash on a planet you were going to anyway. You end up imprisoned for no reason. You wake up, all the hell breaks loose, and you get punched a lot. You learn that other prisoners mutated cause of a space virus from space. Almost at the end of the game, you learn that an outbreak like this happened before and you were the one who unknowingly transported the virus packaged as a medicine. So the blunt character is like, oh my god, I did this, I'm evil, oh no, I deserve to suffer. I don't know who would blame a FedEx driver for delivering a package, but the person who wrote this story thought that it makes a lot of sense. Also, our protagonist is pussy whipped the entire time and at the end of the game he sacrifices himself for a woman that raided his ship and killed his friend. Yeah. Also, there was a plot point where he had to kill the last boss and take a fluid sample out of him to heal that woman. That sample could have also been used to perfect humanity, and he uses it just to heal her. Now the last boss was the size of a bus, so I believe that there was more than one sample, but they had to give the character some fake-ass moral choice to make. In conclusion, combat bad, visuals generic bad, story bad, many quicktime events that pretend they are not quicktime events. Modern Hollywood-like story and delivery. White man soft and girl boss is a boss. Combat system is introduced to you by freezing the game, then forcing you to push a button, then freezing the game again, and forcing you to push another button, then freezing the game. And it does that about 7 times in a row. Also, immediately after the first battle is done, your game freezes again and you get a wall of text explaining to you the combat system that it explained to you 10 seconds ago. It took me 3 days to finish the game, and each time I launched it, the game froze because it gave me multiple achievements at the same time. During normal gameplay, whenever you get an achievement, the game freezes for 5 seconds. It is a feature, but I do not know if it's exclusive to Epic Games or not. This game is pure garbage, and it is one of the worst games I've ever played. 1 out of 10.